Hello and welcome back to Boxing Social in association with Betfred. My name is Ayman Khan. I'm here with the super bantamweight who will have been casting his eye on the weekend's action. He is, of course, the one and only Qais Ashfaq, who's also out soon. Qais, first of all, how's life treating you?
Good, yeah, not bad. No, training away. Been a tough couple of, year and a half, give or take. Not box, but keeping faith. I'm in a good place.
You're in a good place. And like I mentioned, first of all, you're out soon, 1st of July. Talk to me about getting out. And it's an interesting show being that it's, I believe, Izzy Asif's second show there. Talk about that link up with Izzy.
Yeah, so Izzy, I've known Izzy for a long time, way before all this promotional stuff that he's doing. But I went to his first show and I was very impressed. And obviously me not fighting for a year and a half came to a point. Don't get me wrong, it wasn't something that we wanted. It was just things kept coming out and then falling through and then wasting more time and then contracts and all that. But once the time came to finally make a decision about fighting, I said to him, listen, I rang Izzy, I said, I want to get on your show. I loved the way the show was the first time, so get me on. And like I said, I've got a personal relationship with Izzy anyway, so it was easy enough to do. So he got me straight on the show, and I believe he's very happy to have me on the show. So yeah, it's a good place to get back out there, and it's in Rotherham, which isn't too far from Leeds, where I'm from, so that always helps.
This time that you've had out, it's never good for boxers in general to have any time out because inactivity kind of stalls their career, and that's what maybe you'll have been feeling in the time that you've had out of the ring. Talk to me about kind of that feeling that you have had. A lot of fighters will find that a frustrating time when the place that they want to be is in the square circle.
Yeah, so in terms of my career so far anyway, because of stuff like this and because of COVID and because of issues in between, it's been quite stop-start anyway. But like I say, I'm a strong believer in the Almighty. I keep faith. I still genuinely believe I will be a world champion, and not just. And I believe I'll win many world titles, not just one. But that's my own faith. That's my belief in what I'm here to do. What I believe I'm good enough to do. And like I say, I've got a new. I know we're going to talk about this later. But I've got a new coaching setup as well now, which I'm very happy with, and I'm ready to move on and push on.
Well, let's get straight into that. The coaching setup. What was it? The move that you made, and how are you feeling under the new guidance that you do have?
So I'm with Lee Beard now, up around Manchester ways. Obviously a new setup again, but an unbelievable coach. One of the coaches that for me goes under the radar. More because he's a bit old school in terms of like social media and stuff like that. But an unbelievable coach, and I can't knock him for the way we've been working together. And the only good thing that's come out of this year and a half off is I've had more time with Lee to get used to him, to bond with him, to make sure everything's right, and I'm in a very happy place.
You'll have no doubt been casting your eye over the weekend's action, specifically Mark Leach and Liam Davies, being the history you have with Mark Leach. Can you talk to me about kind of what you saw in the losing effort that Mark did have? What did you make of that fight?
That fight, I was there live in Telford, but I left before the fight. Shows how interested I was. But no, to be honest with you, the thing for me was I'm fighting in, it was just under 2 weeks by then. I need to get home, get some sleep. And Telford from Leeds is 2.5 hours away, so I made sure I got home, got in bed in time, and got my rest that I needed in this crucial stage of camp. But with the fight itself, it was kind of what I expected, to be honest with you, because I've always said, there's no offense to Mark Leach, but I believe he's bang average. He beat me on a day where I was terrible, and he had his best night. It was one of those things, and there was loads of reasons behind that I won't get into. But that's my genuine belief that he got me at a good time. He beat me on a night where I was terrible, and he had his best night. And for me, Davies had a decent night, but I don't even think that's not even the best I've seen Davies. And he beat Mark, but like I say, I don't know if you've seen on social media, but I want that fight. I want to fight Davies because I genuinely believe that. I feel like it suits me to see. I feel like to fight him, I'd be comfortable in that.
I believe, correct me if I'm wrong here, I believe you were trying to get the rematch with Mark at one point. Did that ever materialize? And why? Well, it obviously didn't materialize, but why didn't it materialize?
I've wanted that rematch since that fight. I remember I boxed again 6 weeks after, or 8 weeks after that fight. And in the interview, then I'm saying, get me him again. I want him again. I want him as soon as. But for whatever reason, obviously they don't want the fight. That's the facts of it. I've said plenty of times they're running away from that fight, and it never happened. But like I say, I'd fight him again, and I believe I'd beat him easy. But I also want the titles, and I'm just turned 29 now, so I've not got no time to waste. So I want Dave Davies. I want to win that British title.
Yeah, you mentioned there, turned 29, so 1 year away from the 30s. You want to be moving on, pushing on. Best way to push on is capturing the British title.
I still feel 21. I still probably act it as well, but that's one of those. That's a different thing.
What do you see in Liam in the previous fights and the fight that weekend that makes you feel confident that you would be victorious in a fight against him?
Liam, so his assets for me are his range. Obviously, he's got that size, and he's got decent power. But I do believe Mark, in aspects, showed how vulnerable he is. For me, anyway. And again, I won't get into what I believe is negative, so to speak, but me and my coach have already sat down and spoke about it. And we both believe that we beat Liam all day long. And that's, again, exactly why after the fight, I said straight away. So there's a story behind that post. As you probably noticed, I said in the gym the week before. So what happened the week before his fight? My coach and his coach spoken. And he needed some southpaw sparring. So he said, Sam, I had no problem going down and helping him out. That's all I was thinking about the point, helping him out. He's fighting a southpaw, I'll be there, no problem. Drove about 2 hours, got there, and he was even in the gym, but they didn't want to spar me. That straight away I thought, I don't know if you could get really better sparring for a fight like that than me, but whatever he's done, and he's won the fight anyway, but that's credit to him. But I was there, I was ready. Rather than spar me, he sparred 2 amateur kids. But that's one of those things. After the fight, after the spar, I said to him, I came here to help you. What happened there? Because I ended up sparring little Ijaz, and obviously with Ijaz being so small, it was obviously I had to hold back quite a lot, and it was not a waste of time. So I was happy to help the kid. But for me and my development for a fight coming up, it didn't really do me no good. But yeah, so after the spar, I said to Liam, so was now you mate, right? But here's the thing, I came to spar you. What happened there? And he seemed to act oblivious to it. And I was like, all right, Stan. But I said to him, listen, Matt Leach, my exact words to him were, Matt Leach is running scared of me. He won't fight me. I've got a better chance of fighting you because I've heard you'll fight anyone. And that's what I have heard from people in my gym that are from Telford as well. So I said to him, tell you what, go out there, beat Matt Leach, and I want to fight you next. And his response to that was, yeah, sound, his belief is that you should never duck anyone. He'd rather not have the regrets, blah, blah, blah. And that's where that little message came from, for me to say, like we spoke about in the gym the week before. But like I say, I've put it out there. I want the fight. I've messaged myself. He's replied. And I just want teams to get in touch so I can make that fight now.
2 questions.
I've got more respect for him because if it's correct in what I'm hearing and he'll fight anyone and he'll take the fight with me, then you've got to respect that. That's the Warriors coach, you know what I mean? Like I say, if he takes the fight, I respect him for his word in the gym that day and for taking the fight in general. So I have all respect for him. And he seems like a good enough, nice enough kid. He's a bit mental in the ring from what I've heard, but he's a nice enough kid. So it'll be a good fight, and I believe, I do genuinely believe that I win that fight.
2 questions there then, Qais, from your story there then. First of all, why do you think he didn't want to spar you on that day?
I don't know. That's up for debate, isn't it? There were a lot of things said in that gym that day from other people, but end of the day, the spar never happened. Sorry, can you still see me?
I can't see at the moment. Your camera's just turned off.
Oh, sorry, someone's calling me. For whatever reason, that spar never happened that day, but that's up for debate. I don't read too much into that. End of the day, whatever happened, he sort of went there, did what he needed to do, and he won the fight. But I don't know. All I know is it was agreed by the coaches. When I got there, he was there and he was sparring, but he didn't want to spar. Well, he wouldn't. Well, not he wouldn't, or he didn't want to. That I can't question because that's something only he knows. But the spar never happened, and he was there, and I was there. And it was a week before his fight. It was the last spar, and it just didn't happen.
And then the second question is, you've sort of agreed between yourselves that you'd fight each other. You're saying Liam wouldn't duck anyone. He's got the Warriors code. You've got the Warriors code there too. How likely do you think a fight will be either next or down the line?
I'm hoping he's a man of his word. I'd love that fight next. Like that's the only question now. That let's get teams in touch and get it on. And that's the last place where it's been left. So, like I say, that's up to his team now because he's got the belt. Whether they want the fight or not, that's something that I'm sure we'll soon find out.
Let's just get your thoughts on a couple of other things, and I'll bring it back to you, Qais. Your old teammate, Anthony Joshua, has announced his signing with DAZN, moving over from Sky Sports Boxing as he prepares for the rematch with Usyk. Just your thoughts on, first of all, AJ signing with DAZN, a lucrative deal.
1 second, sorry, someone rang me again. It's great. AJ he's a smart man. He knows what he's doing. We've got a great team behind us both, 258 management. And yeah, whatever he does, I do genuinely listen. He's not put much of a foot wrong in his career so far. So if he decided to go with for his own reasons, then I'm sure it's the right reason for him and for his career and for the team.
He's brought in, or he's drafted in now, Robert Garcia alongside Angel Fernandez. How do you think that will change the setup, and what do you think are the chances for Anthony Joshua as he takes on Usyk as well in the rematch?
I think that's a great move. I always said that he needed someone with experience. When he changed teams, he needed someone with experience. And the good thing about Garcia is you've seen his fighters, you've seen his track record, you've seen Mike is his brother, right?
Yeah.
You've seen his brother and the way he fights, and if AJ can implement that into a fight with Usyk, for example, then he's got a great chance of going out there and winning that fight, because that's the sort of style for me that he needs. You don't need to outbox Usyk. You need to put it on him. Well, this is my own opinion, but you need to put it on him. And I'm sure, like I say, they're going to have a great game plan now. It's going to be a totally different fight.
You and I both know very well Amir Khan and how he's been flying the flag for British Asians for a number of years. He's now called time, pulled the curtain on his career. Just a word on kind of Amir Khan and the kind of where he's kind of put British Asian boxing on the map. Brilliant.
What a career. And in terms of helping people like myself and the British Asians coming through now, he's been unbelievable. You can't really... he gets a lot of stick for the wrong things, but you can't knock what he's done. You can't knock where he's put, not even just British Asians, like the Olympic team, for example. If he didn't get that silver medal, there were talks about not getting no more funding. And if we didn't get no more funding, what would have happened years after in Beijing, London, and all them Olympics, you know? So he's really done a lot for not just us British Asians, but Britain itself. And all respect to him. All respect to him.
Bringing this back to you then, you're going to be out 1st of July, but in terms of getting your career back on track and getting out there and climbing the ladder, how often do you want to be out this year?
As much as I can. As much as I can. I've had enough time out. Like I say, I'm ready to go. Like I said, I'm a firm believer in God, and He's the best of planners. So yeah, like I said, as much as I can. I want big fights though. Anyone from super bantamweight to featherweight, I want to fight. And I'm in that sort of mindset right now, and my coach will vouch for that, because I've said it to him plenty of times. It's not, for me now, it's not about these little tick-over fights. After this little one fight that I'm going to have, just to get back in the ring, I want big fights. And I want the likes of, well, as Liam Davies. I even want that. I'll even fight the likes of Jordan Gills at featherweight. People like that. I want all these fights. I'm happy to take all these fights with the right notice. And I only say that because what lost me that one fight was the notice and why I wasn't 100%. But like I say, I want these big fights, and I'm not here to play games. I'm not here to, be a social media box, so to speak, fighting bums. I'm here to win titles, and I do believe genuinely that I will do that, and I'll get to the top winning world titles.
So 1st of July is when you step back through the ropes. And tell me, for people who'll be watching, tuning in, being there as well, what can they expect to see when you put those gloves back on?
So yes, I'm fighting on Izzy Asif show, GBM Promotions, in Rotherham's Madness Centre. Listen, expect a different Qais Ashfaq. Expect an explosive Qais Ashfaq, because we've been working a lot with Lee, and you know what? As mad as it sounds, no, it's been a year, but we fit perfectly. Within the first couple of weeks, couple of months, we fit perfectly. And what I've been learning with Lee has genuinely brought me on leaps and bounds, and I'm sure I'm going to show that July 1st and moving onwards after that as well.
Qais, it's been a pleasure speaking to you. Thank you so much for speaking to Boxing Social. Looking forward to seeing you on the 1st of July. Looking forward to seeing a different and explosive Qais Ashfaq on 1st of July. Once again, I wish you all the best, and thank you.